Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Maryam from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, all right, it's about shaking the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know what you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys, you already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers, whatever, live it. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Ginny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
And the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Voice of the People, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokobo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikena Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
2564 is coming up on Bernie 9, right?
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Yes, I changed my name. I am a friend of the microphone. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios. Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I mean, like, well, this TV station will go places. Voice of the People TV.
Oh, yes.
A very good evening to you and welcome to another exciting episode of the Issues and Voice of the People television, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I'm your host, Nenna Ndomdioto. Today on the Issues, we're examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance. From Riley Moore disclosing move to brief Trump on his visit to Nigeria, to Supreme Court upholding Maryam Sanda'S death sentence. Also, court orders former Minister Chris Ngige to remain in prison. And in politics, Rivers Governor Fubara defends defection to APC. Join us as we break down the facts and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. United States Congressman Riley Moore says he will submit a detailed report to President Donald Trump after leading a 5-member congressional delegation on a fact-finding mission to the country. Republican Congressman Riley Moore said the visit focused on insecurity and alleged religious persecution in parts of the country. During the trip, the delegation, which traveled through Benue State in armored vehicles due to security threats, met with victims of attacks, Christian associations, religious leaders, and traditional rulers. Moore said he will compile recommendations on what he described as ground truth from the violence affecting communities, especially in central Nigeria, and present them to the U.S. President later this month. The U.S. lawmaker also acknowledged talks with Nigeria's National Security Advisor, discussing counterterrorism cooperation and regional stability, and confirmed a joint Nigeria-U.S. task force has been established to address some of the security concerns raised. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by 2 esteemed guests. Here in the studio, we have Elvis Elimihele, a political and public affairs analyst. Thank you for being with us.
Good evening, Nena.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And joining us virtually is Kinane Sam. He is a political affairs analyst and the Rivers State Deputy Governorship candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 general elections. He's also an engineer. Glad to have you join us, Kinane.
Good evening, Nena and team.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us. Okay, let me start with you. What do you make of this entire visit by Riley Moore?
Thank you very much. I think Riley Moore and the U.S. government is doing what they are expected to do. Because for me, initially, when Riley Moore visited the government house, Abuja government house, and there was praising the release of those 100 students, I was already feeling that he is compromised, because the release of 100 students compared to the total number that was kidnapped, and also the insecurity we have been complaining about in Nigeria, does not warrant him praising them, because they have not done anything extraordinary. We expected that it is the duty of government to secure the citizen. And if they could allow the citizen to be kidnapped and later release 100, which probably they wanted to do in batches, and we are praising them, particularly on the Shanghai delegation by the US government, I was feeling bad. But subsequently, his visit to the IDP camp and also other places in Benue has actually changed his views. And so I come for taking the time, the pains, to go through all the stress of going through the armored vehicle to visit those places. However, in my view, I think this is a turning around period for Nigeria. It does not just end at insecurity, but also at the rate of corruption in the country. If I will borrow the word of one of the political juggernauts from Rivers State, because I don't want to be specific, who said that if he's given the opportunity, he can even bribe the angels. I was having that very strong feeling that something was gone wrong. But with this, and with his statement, his findings, his interactions with all those IDP persons, has actually shown him the rate and the level of insecurity in a country like Nigeria, where you have over 1 million people coming from their own villages in an IDP camp. That tells you the rate of insecurity, for the fact that, yes, there are people who are occupying their villages, and those are the Fulanis that are causing this mayhem. And those are the realities on ground to let you understand that, yes, people have been chased away from their home. Those people he interacted with will definitely tell him the reality of mass burials in those places that they had to dig mass grave. So it is not a matter of going to Aso Rock and getting information and going back and telling the people, no, they are denying. And it becomes a situation of deniers upon deniers. I am so happy with this visit, because it's going to tell the American government the reality that, yes, what you have said as a President Donald Trump is true. Nigeria is actually a country of particular concern. Concern particularly the point that they want to eliminate the Christian.
Okay, since we seem to have lost connection with him. Okay, you know some of the things that Riley Moore said when he during this particular when he went for the visit, especially the IDP camps. You know, he talked about how sorrowful or how painful or how sympathetic he was to those people who are there. And then he also made mention that some of these people who are displaced, who are even in IDP camps, some of them, okay, I don't know, let me just allow him finish his thought before I come to you. Kinani, are you back? Can you finish your thought so that I can get back to Mr. Elvis here?
Yes. Yeah, like I was saying, it's one of the best things that has happened to Nigeria in recent times. The visit of the American and for Nigeria, for those of us who are concerned about the well-being and welfare of Nigerians, is one of the biggest things that we are experiencing now. Because if you look at the rate of decadence in this country, it has gone to the point where nobody feels or cares about any other person, particularly those people who were elected in position to be concerned about our people, about the people they represent. So I'm happy with this visit. I'm happy with everything that is going on now because he has seen things by himself, and I'm sure he will be able to give a clear view of what he has seen, not based on the information that were related to him by men in representing government.
Okay, thank you. Let me come to you in the studio. Okay, so here, like I said, he actually criticized these, as in like the fact that there are even assaults in these displacement camps or in these camps for IDPs. And he's saying, and he was actually saying that, okay, how can you say that this is as a result of environmental economic factors? Because he's seeing these things. It's not just about what he could have been told or what he could have, but here he's seeing it. And what do you make of this?
Thank you, Nena. That shows that our government officials who have been telling lies all this while are so much wicked and insensitive to our plight. I thank God that the US came into this matter and the world is actually seeing the real truth concerning what has been going on in Nigeria. And I also thank the US government for this visit in particular. It is now a first-hand information that they got from Nigeria that they are going to give back to President Donald Trump, not the one that after all these deaths, this avoidable death, the government of Nigeria will play down on it and tell you it is communal clash. And that is as a result of climate change that the herders are moving their cattle from the up north down south, and they now have clashes with the farmers. They play down so much on it without allowing the world to know what's actually going on in Nigeria. And I also thank the archbishops and some people from Benue State that took this matter upon themselves. Archbishop Anagbe and his team and others. You know, the cry has become so hard that it got to, this is just like the cry of the Israelites when they were in captivity in Egypt. That's how I can describe it. If you're a Bible scholar, you know what it means. So that cry has actually gotten to a level that God will not come down by himself, but he will use somebody. That Donald Trump has to hear this, and he has to wade in. So it has become so obvious now that all the officials of Nigeria government, even the Jamboree visit that Boala led, that he went around the world, you know, paying visit to, the media, international media all over. This fact-finding mission that Lemon came into Nigeria to see by himself has demystified all those cook-up stories that they were using to defend this government. Let me tell you, Nena, you know, there was a time this year that the president visited Benue State. And the president was even like wanting to also play down on it, on the debt. But I gave it to Totiv. And he said, this is not communal clash. This is about trying to just eliminate a race. And when you are eliminating race, what do you call it? Genocide. That's exactly what happened in Rwanda. That they just want to eliminate this race because when they level a village or a community, they take over that community and rename it. Which means the people, the original inhabitants of that community cannot even access it again. They have to remain in IDP camp. And look at the condition in IDP camp. Look at the condition Nigerians have been living over the years in IDP camp. These are people who, before now, were living in their ancestral home. They could go over their normal businesses, which was merely farming. They have now become people who are now waiting for palliative before they can feed. And these are people who were even feeding Nigerians. Benue is the food basket of the nation. These are people who were food. Now they wait for palliative in IDP camp in such a very harrowing and demeaning environment. We see some of the flashes. We see them on videos, what they are going through. But the best thing this visit did for Nigeria was that he really was in the camp. This is the camp Nigerian officials don't visit. They don't visit these camps. They don't know what is going on in the camp. They don't know what these people are going through. No place to sleep, no toilet, nothing, no food. These people are left in this kind of a very demeaning environment. And people will now come down and play down on this and tell you it is just communal clashes between herder and farmers. But the first-hand information is now before the world. I don't think he will get back and paint it the way Nigeria government have been painting it, the way Nigeria government officials have been painting it. He's going to give the true fact about this to President Donald Trump. And Nigerians are eagerly waiting. If not for any other thing, let our brothers and sisters who have faced this harrowing experience over the years be allowed to go back to their respective home and face their normal. Imagine the deaths. Father would have gone, only mother. Even mother that is alive, most of the children would have gone. Can you manage that trauma syndrome upon that family? But somebody is coming because you just want to make money, you want to keep your position, you are playing down on people's life. You know, do you know what death is? This is so sacrosanct that you cannot reverse it. But now the truth is before the world. And this truth is what the world will act on. Because if you have done a vox pop, it will not be different from the truth he has seen now. Nigerians are waiting. Nigerians want freedom. Nigerians just want, you know, for us to go back and live the life that we have been used to. Not this one. This is Yuletide. How many people will travel? Mm-hmm. Even those that are going to travel, they're going to be doing fasting and prayers in their respective churches before they travel. So this is what we have seen over the years. It became so bad in the 8 years of Buhari's administration. I keep telling you, Buhari's administration allowed this terrorism in Nigeria to fester because Buhari, from all his language, body language, and his interaction and all that, was 100% in support of these people. So these people now saw that, oh, if they kill, nobody is investigating it. Nobody is sentenced, no deterrent, nobody is prosecuted. Then why will they not continue? So they now saw it like, oh, this is our opportunity. So 8 years of Buhari's administration, Buhari Nigerians waited for, as a retired general, to come and bring succor to Nigerians' political, terrorism crisis. Buhari came and worsened it. But thank God, the US government have come in. Let's see how this is going to play out. At least in 2026, I'm beginning to see that we're going to get leverage. We're going to get this freedom, which the Israelites yearned for in Egypt, and they got it. I think it has come to the middle belt of Nigeria.
Okay, I like how you put it, you know. I like the positivity that you come with it. It looks like, okay, 2026 is the year.
Yeah, is the year.
It's the year when Nigerians will get freedom,
yes.
when Nigerians will get,
Behold.
We hope and we pray for that. But I want to ask you, could this visit strengthen or strain Nigeria-US relations?
It's not going to strain it. You see, after crisis, there is always dialogue. By the time these miscreants are actually pulled out and removed, you'll see that we'll have a better relationship with the US, because if you ask Nigerians today, Nigerians will tell you that we just need to be free from terrorism. This atmosphere of crisis, that we just want to be out of it. So I see Nigerians even coming out to thank the US government more. It is only these stooges who are on our neck because of their political occupation positions that will be telling you, another part of the story, Nena. So people tell you they are coming for our resources. Whom have resources of Nigeria help? How many Nigerians benefit from Nigeria's resources over the years? Even the resources is not part of what that is causing this trouble. Part of what is causing this trouble, we call that are illegal miners. Who are the people that are doing this illegal mining? Can you do it? Do you have the means? The same people who are trying to sell that dummy to us now that, oh, they are coming for our resources. Oh, that's why they are against it. They are the same people that are not, selling this dummy to those people who cannot reason from their left to right. The same way they sold the dummy of religion to divide us, the same way they sold the dummy of ethnicity to divide us. That's why they want to bring this dummy of, oh, they are coming for our resources. Nigeria resources have never helped us. It has never helped Nigerians. Today, we still tell you, Nigerians are still talking about they cannot travel 50 kilometers on Nigeria road without running into bombs. Who have the resources have helped? Today, Nigerians are wallowing in the IDP camp. They cannot feed because of crisis. Nigerian schools are not what Before now, we have foreign students in Nigeria schools. Today, Nigerians now pay thousands, millions of naira to go abroad to go and study. Where is it? Who are the resources I have? Millions of Nigerian nairas to go to get studies abroad. Then, what about health tourism? How many Nigerians, even them, because they can afford it, how many of them go to Nigerian hospitals? For those of us that cannot afford it, ordinary malaria are killing Nigerians. Then somebody will not tell you, oh, because of the Nigeria resources. Whom have that resources helped? So this relationship, after this, you know, we are going to see a better relationship. Anybody that is coming into government, I know that there is somebody else too that is watching his activities. Do you understand? So you have to sit tight. You have to sit tight. 265 children are in the bush. Only 100 is released. Then people are clapping hands. What happened to the 165 that are still there? Why will you applaud that? There's nothing to be applauded. There's nothing. So we want more of this. Apart from even the US government, we want more foreign bodies to be part of this and help Nigeria to get out of these strangulations.
Okay, let's hear from our virtual guest. Okay, let me come back to you. Of course, we've seen how the U.S. has raised concerns about these killings in Nigeria. What implications do you think this would have for our security assistance, or for security assistance, arms sales, or sanctions in the future?
Yeah, let me even try to add to what my colleague in the studio spoke about when you were asking about the relationship between Nigeria and the U.S. I think we are already happy and appreciating U.S. for this visit alone, not even waiting until when they come out insecurity completely from this country, Nigeria. And so if Nigerians are happy with the U.S., certainly this is not the only administration that's going to rule Nigeria forever. Every other administrations that will come in certainly will want to do things right. And by so doing, strengthening our relationship with the U.S. You see, a situation like we are in calls for people to be sober about what is happening in the country that does not reflect what it should be. But you see, our people, so-called big men, they are only concerned about themselves and their family, and has nothing to think about Nigerians. We are the people who put them there, if at all. If not for me, I know they force themselves through rigging and all those things into that place. So whatever they are doing is because they feel that they can always get their way through in terms of rigging themselves. So they are not much concerned about what we are passing through as private individuals. That you see in a country like us now, every family is a government of its own. A government of its own for the fact that you provide every amenities of life by yourself. Even the security we are talking about, we provide it by ourselves. You talk about utilities, we provide it by ourselves. Rather, what they are concerned about is just to task us and then make sure that we do not progress. So for me, in a country where you are a government, and being a government, you have to defend yourself in every ramification. You have to defend yourself in everything that you are doing. And that has put so much pressure on us as individuals and as collective groups who are concerned about the feelings of the next neighbor. And that pressure has actually pushed us down to the point now that it is difficult for people to live a free life. When you walk on the street, you see a lot of people who are suffering. With the situation in the country, or with the visit of the US, we are so excited for the fact that, look at it, it is this way. We are seeing this thing that it was restricted to the north. And gradually it started from Zamfara and began to spread, and gradually it was spreading down to the south. And if not for this kind of a visit, nobody was talking about it. We even hear rumors that even our president was afraid to fight Boko Haram. So what else have you expected? If a president is afraid to fight Boko Haram that has come to take over people's villages and communities and rename them as their own community, what else do you expect from the individual who cannot defend himself when the government cannot even defend themselves and stand firm that no, we want to fight this, we want to stop this? They do not have that power. It is just because America has decided to come in this point, and because they know once America make a statement, that statement must be followed to the letter. They've done it in other countries, and so Nigeria is not exceptional. They are still going to do it. So they are going to give us all the necessary support that we need. If we need boots on ground, I am very sure America will provide. If we need just a matter of relationship, okay, provide us with aids that we use to fight Boko Haram. They will, but I'm sure they are not going to give them anything like cash. They are going to supply the ammunitions, the armaments that they need for this fight against bandits and Boko Haram specifically. They will do everything possible. Now, you see, when you look at this country, Nigeria, America has nothing to gain in particular, and at least nothing to lose. For the fact that, yes, they are a Christian nation, and they have decided to stand out for every Christians in the world, not just Nigeria. And they have highlighted that, yes, in Nigeria there is genocide. And they have proven to the world that, yes, there is genocide. Yet, people in government were still denying. Now that they have sent a convoy that has come to verify that these things are real, I think they will give us every support that we need in terms of fighting this war, either on ground, in the air, by support, through neighbors, and whichever way. I am very confident that this will bring the end of terrorism, Boko Haram, banditry in Nigeria. And we're going to push further to all these corrupt men who has been in government, who has been fighting their way through because they have men who are in power. It will all, because it's in phases. The first phase now is to end banditry. Once they end banditry and oppression, an individual will be able to speak out. There will be whistleblowers that will be able to speak out and tell Nigerians, this is what this man has done, this is what this man is doing. So it's going to go a long way to set us free. We've been in prison, we've been in captivity for so long. And I'm very confident this is unlike every other time they will say, hey, America will come and help you, hey, and this country will come and help you. This is a different case. Let me tell you this. America is not just coming into Nigeria because they feel that Christians have been killed. But I think America knows how strategic Nigeria is in the sense of Africa's economy and Africa's leadership. And if America loses grip of Nigeria, it's going to tell a very big toll on them for the fact that China is already paving its way through with all these corrupt men into the country. And so if America just sit down and allow China to have its way, to allow France to have its way into Nigeria, it's going to affect America seriously. Because anything that happens in Africa or in Nigeria in particular is going to affect every other country in the world where we have a good population of Nigerians residing there. Because they work for the government. I just want to take this little out. I don't want to go deep, but let's assume they have people who work for their government. And majority, I know how many Nigerians are working in the US. And you hear that there is conflict in Nigeria that affects their family. It's going to affect their productivity very seriously. So for that reason alone, I don't want to go deeper on the other side of economic benefit and all those things. Is going to make them fight and ensure that, yes, they return democracy to the country, Nigeria.
Okay. Let me come back to the studios. How do you think the federal government will respond if Moore's briefing, because we don't even know what he's going to go and tell President Trump, because everyone's hands are kind of tied. Everyone's just waiting to hear what he would say. because we don't even know, we're not in his heart, we don't know what he would say. So what if, how would Nigerian government respond if his briefing leads to more assertive U.S. policy recommendations?
But Nigerian government have actually said some time ago that they were going to cooperate with the U.S. So let us also believe that whatever really more, tests Donald Trump and Donald Trump's response, Donald Trump may respond in another form. Let's also believe that in whatever form that the U.S. government is responding, Nigeria government must cooperate. That was one of the reasons why the NSA, National Security Advisor, with his team, went to the U.S. At least they were there. They met with even the NSA over there too, and met even with the part of some of the U.S. Congress. And at least they have, with that visit, they would have also spelled out some areas where Nigeria actually need their help. Nigeria needs a lot of help in terms of intel. We need a lot of intelligence, then we also need more of sophisticated arms. We should be able to know where these people, you can imagine these people post video. They post live video from their camp, and Nigerians cannot trace it to fish them out. But I know when America comes, with that video, they will be able to know, this is already a done deal. They know what to do. So we need more of this. So I expect that Nigeria will cooperate 100%, except for those riffraffs who are benefiting from this situation we are going through, Nena, that will be talking the other way. But I know with the level that this advocacy has gone concerning U.S. coming to help us to come out of this situation we are, this government will not turn its eyes the other way. If they do, there will be protests in Nigeria. And if they even do, I also know too well, Donald Trump can come in different form. He can come in whatever form if Nigeria government is not cooperating. He can do it. But I believe so well that with that delegation that they sent down and they met them, they've discussed so much, it is based on that delegation that even they too also sent down to Nigeria now for fact finding. And they have also got their own fact now. So it's for them to now sit down and actually analyze where can we come in with what we have seen on ground. There are so much. These people that are in IDP camp, you don't just send them back home. They need to be debriefed. These people need a lot of psychological, help for them to function well again in society, especially when they are going back to their ancestral land where they've been taken off for so many years. Nena, they're coming to look at, it used to be like this. They begin to look at their neighbors who are no more alive, begin to look at, so many things that they've lost. We are not even talking of all their domestic animals that they've lost as they were running into the camp. Nobody is talking of their properties. And then their farmland have been taken over the years. So they need a lot of psychological help to debrief them, to be able to function well. All this one, Nigeria government have not thought of it over the years. That's why they just kept them there and feel all is well. People are making a lot of money from them. Whatever they vote for IDP, some people still go there and still see, because of the way we have our heart has so turned the other way in this nation, we now see every opportunity, whether it is good or not, whether it is against your fellow Nigerian, to make money out of it is the only thing you not think out of it. So now, US is coming. These people might likely leave their IDP camp and be resettled back to their homes when the insecurity in their respective homes have now become, coiled down. They cannot go back, but they need to be helped. Then, remember, most of them don't have homes again. Their homes have been burnt down. Would they go back to their respective villages and be living outside? They need to be given a roof over their head. There's still so much to do. But I pray that Nigeria government will sincerely accept this assistance that the U.S. government is trying to bring in. Otherwise, it will stumble into what? Because the awareness has become so high now. It is no longer like the lies they used to tell Nigerians and the world before. So with this awareness, nobody will take it lightly with the government if they look the other side from this assistance that we are expecting from the U.S.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next conversation. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has upheld the death sentence of Maryam Sanda'S, rejecting the controversial presidential pardon granted earlier this year. The Apex Court, in a split decision, ruled that the lower courts correctly affirmed the conviction for the murder of her husband, Bilyaminu Bello. Sanda'S was originally sentenced to death by hanging by a federal capital territory high court in 2020, and the Court of Appeal upheld that verdict. President Tinubu had commuted her sentence to 12 years imprisonment on compassionate grounds, but the Supreme Court set aside the pardon, restoring the original death sentence and dismissing her appeal as lacking merit. Justices say the executive's pardon was inappropriate, while her legal appeals were pending, underlining the judiciary's independence and strict adherence to constitutional procedures and criminal matters. What do you make? Okay, let me come to our virtual guest first. What do you make of this development? We've seen that now the Supreme Court has upheld the case. I mean, okay, first of all, you saw how the public outcry when her name was included in those people that were supposed to be pardoned. And now, of course, the death sentence has been upheld. What do you make of this development?
Yeah, Nana, you see, the question I would like to ask is why is it that Sanda'S case has taken a national dimension when there are so many other cases that are more prominent and needed national attention that nobody is giving attention? That's the big question for me. Secondly, a case that is in courts, a case that has not been finally decided, because after the first judgment, she went for appeal and she lost the appeal and went to Supreme Court. And yet, the president now granted her pardon over such a case. I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I think as a layman from the little I know about court proceedings, the government or the president can only give pardon over a case that has been finalized. So my question is, who are those people behind the case of Sanda'S that are pushing it so strongly that they have pushed it off to the president? Because in the present day Nigeria, nothing happens for nothing, particularly in the presidency. There is somebody in that presidency that has something or knows something, or maybe Sanda'S knows something that that person knows that would mean something special to them that is pushing this case. Otherwise, the Sanda'S case is a case of murder, direct case of murder, and judgment has been passed, and appeal was taken, and then later to Supreme Court. And yet, a pardon was given to 12 years. So now that the Supreme Court has said the judgment was right, are they going back to the judgment? Because this should be the final. This one now precedes the presidential and pardon, which was 12 years. And the judgment has said, yes, she deserves a death sentence. So which of the judgment are they going to take? Is it the pardon now or the Supreme Court judgment? So that's the question I have for Nigerians, and let them help us answer it. Because they were too much in haste to take decisions on that matter. Too much in haste to take decision on a matter that does not desire national attention. But we have so many issues that deserve national attention. So for me, I will leave it at that, because I just don't understand why and what necessitated people in power to grant her pardon before the final judgment was given.
Okay, thank you. We've seen how even the judges has actually faulted the fact that a pardon was given even when the case was still in court. Now it looks like Inani said, it looks like we have two contrary orders in our hands. We have the presidential pardon saying 12 years, and we have the Supreme Court upholding her death sentence. What do you make of this?
Let me first of all commend the judges of the Supreme Court that gave this judgment today, 4-1. At least they've proven that the judiciary is supposed to be a separate arm of government that none of us, both the executive and the legislature, ought not to. Because for every other arm of government, this is the only arm of government where professionalism is at play. There's nobody that is in that arm of government that is not a lawyer, who have gone through the rudiment of, law school and all that. Unlike politicians, anybody can be a legislator, from any field. The same thing, the executive. So a situation where we now see the executive and the legislature now meddling into the affairs of the judiciary is an aberration. But today's judgment actually brought them to the limelight that, okay, we know our job and nobody should dictate for our job. So to come to what were your question, Nina, that now brings us to, do we still have an Attorney General in this nation, Minister of Justice and Attorney General? And if we have, and we believe that we have a functional Attorney General and Minister of Justice, what is his advice to the presidency? Executive arm that appointed him. Because for somebody who is still undergoing trial, his name to be in the pardon list, it's already an aberration. Yes, because her legal case have not been totally dispensed. I get the judgment from the lower court say death sentence. Appeal court repeated the same thing. Then she was still at that level of appealing to the Supreme Court when they hurriedly included her name among those ones the president are going to pardon. That now shows you that there's somebody pushing this dummy. Those people pushing this dummy are the one that the government ought to fish out and say, why are you misleading us? Because this is a big shame. She's actually not the only person that is on death row in Nigeria. Yes, she's not. But why was her case now become so celebrated that she has to be picked out and not be included among those that are going to be pardoned, even when her case has not been totally dispensed? Somebody is pushing that narrative. Those people are the persons that we are supposed to be looking at now that, now that the Supreme Court has given the judgment that, the lower court and the appeal court, and they did well, they never erred against the law. The same sentence that they meted out on her is what they're also repeating now. Then those people who did these abnormalities forward and be tried as well. Let Nigerians see, we just have to start having, a deterrent for every penalty. Every penalty that anybody commits in this nation, let the person answer for it. By the time we allow things to just fly, we talked about this pardon list about 2 months ago, and now the judgment came today, he has awakened it. Something is wrong somewhere. It is now left for the Attorney General of the Federation and those people who were involved in drawing up that list that included this woman's name. How did the name got in there? We want to see more of this. Let people be brought to book for their infractions against the state and against Nigerians. Because we have been so lackadaisical in this. That's why you see everybody comes to tell Nigerians lies and they go scot-free with it. So let's begin to realign things, especially now that the international community is looking at us. Let's begin to chart a new way forward that will give us a better integrity before the Committee of Nations. So this matter is not ending. We want to see those that smuggled her name into it, and we want to see those them brought to book. Then we cannot take it off from there. Nena.
Okay, let's move on. Former Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, has been ordered to remain in the Kuje Correctional Center as his corruption trial progresses. The Federal Capital Territory High Court, presided over by Justice Maryam Hassan, ruled that Ngige should stay in detention pending the hearing of his bail application. Ngige was arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on an 8-count charge, alleging that he abused his efforts to confer unfair advantage on associates through award of contracts and accepted Carab's gift while supervising the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund. The ex-Anambra State Governor pleaded not guilty to all counts, and the court adjourned until Monday, December 15, for the bail application to be heard. His lawyer argued he needs hospital access due to health issues, while the EFCC opposed the request on grounds that he remains a flight risk. Let me come to Kinane first. What do you make of this Ngige's remand in Kuje? Would you actually say it is impartial, or would you say there's a bit of politically witch hunt, or political witch hunt rather?
Yes, Nena, once more again, we know that a lot of criminals have served in the APC government right from the time of Buhari to this day. And we are expecting more of this kind of probe into their office while they were in service. But in the case of Ngige, I will see that, yes, Ngige may have offended somebody. And because Ngige has offended somebody or Ngige has refused to join some people. They want to use him as a scapegoat. One. The second one could be that, yes, there are situations that they want to box him or push him to the wall to agree or sign some certain things with them so they can use this case against him. However, I wouldn't see it as a vindictive act because with what they have said, yes, he was in that government. He should go and defend those allegations against him. And if they do it to Ngige, we expect them to do it to other ministers or other people who served in the previous government and those who are already or also in this present government, that they should come and prove their service or their actions while they were in service. So I expect to see more of this kind of EFCC actions, not just to follow up with the Yahoo boys or follow up with one report that was given against two families that they were having clashes, but I expect them to call to book those ministers whose offices have been used to compromise the government system. So it is not a vindictive action, rather they should continue because we are talking about making Nigeria better. And there's no way we can make Nigeria better if they do not carry out activities like this, inviting people who are suspicious of circumventing the procedure. They need to bring them to book. They need to answer for what they have done. And so that all those other ones who are also waiting or on their waiting list should know that they will come for them. That should also put fears into the people who are in service. However, I want to tell you that nothing will come out of it, and that they just want him to sign some documents with them. That is the reason for this, because presently the people who are in government are doing worse than what Ngige has done. They are doing what, in fact, if you know some of the things they are doing, you will be crying that do we have a country? Do we have a system? Do we have procedure? So for Ngige, let him answer for it. Because I remember during his regime, when the Nigerian Labour Congress was asking for a better condition of service for the workers, I can remember some of the very naughty statements that came out of Ngige, proving as if he was the best of ministers. They say if you want to go to equity, you should go to equity with a clean hand. And so for him, he should have been able to know that yes, his hands are not clean. And then he was so stern on deciding that they cannot increase salaries for the workers, whereas he had so much that his hands were in. Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Let me come to our guest in the studio. You know, we've seen so many of these allegations. We've seen so many of this because we don't have so much time anyways. But briefly, just what do you think, what systemic loopholes allow these kind of cases to continually occur?
Failure of government. Nena, even if there's no time, let me just quickly give you a little. Buhari came on the mantra of fighting corruption, insecurity, and infrastructure. 2015, when they want to bully Jonathan out. That was Buhari. Look at Buhari's government for 8 years. Issa Pantami, the minister for digital economy or whatever, is before EFCC. Hadis Rika, minister for aviation, is before EFCC. Malami, Anthony General Minister for Justice, is before EFCC. Ngige is also before EFCC. Now, these were Buhari's minister for 8 years. Then you now tell me that Buhari came to fight corruption. I keep telling you that 8 years of Buhari's administration was a monumental failure in this nation. So whatever is going on with Ngige today, there is no sympathy. This was the man that told Nigerians that we have more than enough doctors. Even if the doctors are living in droves, there was no problem. And himself is a medical doctor. He He knew the plight of these Nigerian doctors, what they are going through in Nigeria, but he was downplaying on it. Then he was now using the same money to now enrich himself, setting up companies and now awarding contracts to his own companies. I mean, where was Buhari? The so-called spirit that we said, oh, this was the father that was coming to fight corruption in Nigeria. He tells you that Buhari's administration was a failure in this nation. We are going to see more. Nobody is talking about whether Ngige is in Kirikiri, I mean, in Kuje for the weekend. Let it also rest over there on weekend. Nigerians, there are innocent Nigerians that are there who did nothing. So, but EFCC, this is just another celebrated case. Where is Yaya Bello today? I mean, we saw that celebration. Where are others? But the only good thing is that Nigerians are knowing those that are who have their money in their custodies. The international community is also seeing them. Okay. Then we'll continue to remind the government if they don't do what belongs to them.
Because of time, we have to draw the curtains here. Thank you very much, Kinane, for being a part of this. Thank you for joining us all the way from Port Harcourt. And thank you as well for being with us in the studio.
Thank you, Nena.
Yes, sir. That's all for today's episode of The Issues. Explore the challenges facing Nigeria's politics and electoral governance. Thank you for being a part of this. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insights. Until next time, stay informed. I am Nena Ndomdioto. This has been The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for Hashtag with Vivian and Ikechukwu by 8 p.m. Don't go away.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, The show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
The Agangu Fishing Festival, or Agangu Dance Festival, is an annual 4-day festival in Kebbi State and other northern states like Niger in the northwestern part of northern Nigeria. The region is made up of fertile river areas of Matamfada, Mala, with much irrigation and orchards, Lambu in Hausa. The majority of the inhabitants